Hey there, Sagittarius. Thank you for joining me here for this new moon to full moon reading here for March, between March 13th and March 28th. I'm really excited about this spread. It's different than I've been doing because it is so targeted and precise and short compared to the epic readings I've been doing lately for the 222 portal, for the divine feminine masculine, for the even the full moon and coming into this month. So there's been a lot of output of really big, very in-depth readings that I've put out. If you have not seen those yet, please take a look. And especially these last videos with about the Stargate. We're ending our Stargate today on the 13th. It went from the 3rd to the 13th. It's also our new moon, and I wasn't guided to do these readings until today on the new moon. So that's why they're coming out so late. It is literally 9 o'clock here on the new moon on the 13th in the Pacific. So definitely different than what I've been guided to before, but I totally get it because the energies for this this new moon and this portal leading up to this new moon has been very intense. A lot of timeline shifting going on, which is exactly what a Stargate's all about. So if you're unfamiliar with Stargates, please check out one of my latest videos that goes into, and it is all about Stargates, and then the Stargate video for this particular Stargate, the meditation and messages, also please check out. Now let me tell you about this reading. We're going to get into 3 different oracles: moonology, sacred geometry, and archetypes. And we're just getting into, this is the Kim Kranz archetype oracle deck. We're just getting into the selves. She has it sectioned out into 4 different sections: the selves, the places, the tools, and the initiations. We're just working with the selves part of the oracle to just get information about the part of the self that we need to focus on for this time period between the 13th and the 28th, new moon and full moon. Then we're going to also work with the Angel Tarot, but just a portion of it, just the major arcana, and which is our archangels. So we'll be getting into that. That will be our last card. But to start, we're starting with the moonology oracle. So let's get into that without further ado, dear Sagittarius, which is also my sun sign. So this is definitely a reading I'm interested, personally in. And so welcome, fellow Sagittarians. So great to have you and your energy here. If you don't know who I am, I'm Infiniti, medical medium, psychic physical empath, astral projection, meditation guide, ascension coach, channeler, spirit liaison, and shaman and mystic. I do energy healing worldwide, distance energy healing. I work with people, animals, and or children also, adults, children, and animals. I offer a wide range of services on my website. So from private reads to moderate and deep energy work that you can partake, and as far as what you can get into without working directly with me, I have ebooks, meditations from my podcast, and just different, not meditations, but different topics from my podcast. A lot of information there. So I invite you to check it out, thehealingbutterfly.org. And let's get into the read now without further ado. Starting to get itchy. I get really itchy and I start to yawn when I start to channel and get information. So if you see me doing that, that's what that's all about. Card, full moon in Scorpio. It's time to release negativity. Well, it's always time to release negativity as far as I'm concerned. So whenever this card comes up, it's like, all right, What have we been grouchy or upset about? What is, what has, especially at the end of a Stargate, this is a really good time to think about what energies or what anything that surrounds negativity has been in play. Who or what is that attached to? And what needs to happen with it now? So let's say, for example, you've had somebody in your life, and through this time period with the Stargate, you've decided, or they've decided, that there's separation, or it's no longer in play. This timeline is ending or ended, and you are no longer in contact or in each other's lives. The best thing would be to do a cord cutting, to release energies, to reset energies. That doesn't mean that you can't very easily reconnect cords and energy with a person. It's super easy, actually, but it does help to reset energies, to kind of put things back where they are, because quite literally, cord cutting means to pull back energy that is connected with somebody else. So you've got you, you've got them, and we're connected. So what you do is you detach, it goes back into you, goes back into them. Life force is restored to where it needs to be. If you need to, if you will connect again, or whatever, however that works for you and this person, then that can happen. But it's just a really, whenever there's separation, there's usually some type of negativity attached to it. So it's a really good idea to cut cords. I have an ebook and meditations, all free on my website. Please check that out. Our card for sacred geometry is clarity. Card number 34. Look at that. 8-pointed star here. Beautiful. Clarity. Stay clear and focus. So let's get into this. Card number 34. Stay clear and focus. So this says it's time to release negativity, and this says stay clear and focused. Interesting. So let's see here. Stay clear and focused. The clouds of confusion clear. The star lights my way. This card is here to remind you that it is important that you stay clear and focused on what you need. Don't let others' judgment affect you or put you off what needs to be done. Clear perception allows you to become aware, comprehend, and decide the right way of understanding and interpreting situations. Sacred geometry. When our mind is clear of all clutter and cloudiness, our perception and understanding are strong. When our mind is clouded, we feel confused and frustrated and struggle with judgment. Our perceptions and intentions are important when it comes to decision making. We use all of our senses, such as seeing, hearing, and thought, to understand and acknowledge ourselves and our surroundings in order to set the intentions of what we need to do. The 8-pointed star here is a representation of manifestation and balance. The number is symbiotic of as above, so below. As you stare into the star, clarity and focus will be enhanced. The star brightens and enlarges the more time you spend with it. There is also a representation to the Merkaba, which has 8 points or vertices. The Merkaba brings mind, body, and spirit into harmony. Okay, practical application. When you are feeling overwhelmed and foggy, take time to reflect and clear your mind. Close your eyes and focus on the star in this card, or place it in your third eye, or place it on your third eye. So you can lay down. You could draw this if you don't have this oracle deck, of course, but you can draw this or print out an 8-pointed star and just put it on your forehead. Place it on your third eye. Allow your intuition to step up by engaging your third eye and opening it to allow your inner wisdom and knowing to help bring about the clarity needed. If necessary, spend 5 to 10 minutes every day focusing on this area, using the crystal suggested on your brow to strengthen your intent so that clearer and more decisive decisions can be put into action in your everyday life. And card numerology is 7, and crystal suggestions is sodalite, afrolite, Herkimer diamond, and selenite. I love all of those. I've got some selenite right here. Selenite is amazing for clearing energy. Herkimer diamond is, it looks like diamond or clear quartz. It's very, very, very clear and very refractive. Kind of pricey, but not nearly as pricey as diamonds. Anyway, let's see here. Let's take another look here at this beautiful star. It's actually so pretty. I love it. Clarity. And we need to release negativity, and just knowing and not being confused and all this, and not being influenced by other people and what they may think of us or know for us or any of that stuff. This is about don't let others' judgment affect you or put you off what needs to be done. So if there's been maybe some, negativity surrounding a situation because you've followed your guidance and things have played out a certain way, and you're picking up that other people or person or whatever is judging that, let it go. Don't worry about it, because they don't know what's all coming in for you. They can't possibly see from your understanding, awareness, perspective, and wisdom and guidance. They see from theirs, and that's fine. When we are preoccupied with others and their understanding and perspective, especially of us, then we come out of balance, because we're not in unity with our own Merkaba, light codes, sacred understanding and awareness and guidance. We're coming out of that. We're being pulled into another space that is outside of our knowing, outside of this beautiful space here with this great 8-pointed star. It's like, this is what I know kind of energy. This is the truth kind of energy. And so that's part of what I'm hearing here with clarity. I'm really interested to see what comes out in the archetype deck here. And again, this is just cards that are for the self and the selves, I should say. So the different archetypes that can be the self. I'm still getting used to working with round cards. It's kind of different, but I like them a lot. So I'm also feeling releasing the energy of others is a big deal. It's time to release negativity / it's time to release the energy of others. So again, cord cutting coming up here. As important to do. Okay. My left hand went right to it right here, so let's see what we get. The healer. Card number 25 with the healer. So let's get into that. Making sense to me what I see here so far. The healer, card number 20. Almost right to it. 25. Okay, the light worker, the gifted, the old soul. Dear Sag, I'm a healer, so I definitely relate to this. Um, though some claim the work of the healer as their gift and name it as their dharma, the force of this archetype is within everyone. It is our natural inclination to remember, to return to, and to reclaim that central and eternal life force from which we so easily drift away. In Sanskrit, the word avidya means forgetting, and it is said that this is the source of all suffering and disease. The healer's mission then becomes to move through the comfort of forgetting, through the veils of ignorance and denial, to reveal the radiance that already exists. The healer approaches this in multiple ways, from multiple angles, knowing the cycle of healing is not linear. It is multi-layered and circuitous. It is a multi-layered and circuitous process, always leading back to its own origin, much like the Ouroboros. And an Ouroboros is, I have an Ouroboros ring here. That is, if you can see it here, that's the snake eating its own tail. So another symbol for infinity. When light, self-contained, grateful, and awake. When dark, tired, needing, forgetting its own practice. Go deeper with Asclepius, Air, and Devanari. Those are authors, I guess. The image of the serpent is eternally tied to healing and medicine, both Western and Eastern. Study the serpent and its power, definitely. The wounded healer is not someone who is wounded and is now healed. It is someone who continues to courageously break open the self and ego as a means for deep integration. Yeah. Yeah. Most definitely. As a healer, a legit healer, I can say that healing others is always healing for self, is always knowing that it also isn't you. It's your facilitation of healing, your kind of creating a path to healing, showing people, telling that, the remembrance, again, talking about remembering here, that being a big deal. What's channeled to me was release, receive, remember, and rise. All a part of healing. You release the negativity, you release things, the energy that weighs you down. You receive the incoming light codes, the incoming wisdom and knowledge from your soul and from your divine counterparts. Then you remember. And that is its own little mind twist in itself. As things come in for you to receive and remember, you have to integrate that. You have to accept that. You have to acknowledge those things of either yourself, the world, other people, the universe, creation, how unlinear life really is in every aspect, and really continuously kind of live in that tower of deconstruction and reconstruction all of the time, and being willing to continuously let go, because we're not meant to be anybody's healer forever. For some people, it's where I'm connected with them and working with them in their ascension and their healing for a long time. And with some people, it's pretty short, depending on what they need and what I can give them and what their readiness is, and the level of release, receive, remember, and rise. But for ourselves, we need to not be so plugged in with everybody else's idea of what it is that we are as a healer, on whatever level that might be for you. and take ownership of what that is through clarity for yourself, to receive this divine information as to what it is you are, why you're here, what your missions are, what your abilities are, what you need to do, what's important, what you need to let go, what you need to integrate, what you need to discover, where it is your focus needs to be, all of that good stuff. And if we're either with too much negativity or worried about what other people think or their judgment, then we're never going to be able to clearly, again, clear, see where we're at and where we're going and what needs to come in. And again, it's time to release negativity. This really is, I'm feeling, this is a situation, a person, an aspect of your experience so far that that I'm hearing, of course, isn't all negative, but if it is continuously triggering to you, then it's something that needs to go. If you're continuously in lack or feeling out of balance with a situation, doesn't matter what it is, who it is, it really doesn't, then that needs to be assessed. You need to see it clearly for what it is. It doesn't matter the nature of the person, the relationship, the soul family, familiar family, real family, whatever it is, whoever it is. It could be all of a sudden after 30 years of doing a job or living in a place or having the same friends, everything it needs to shift. It could be that. But whatever it is, it's like, I have this sense of, wishing it was different. I can totally relate to that. Wishing it was different, but understanding with clarity and being the healer and what you need to do for yourself and what's right for this other person or people or situation, whatever it is, that releasing, moving in a separate direction, not being tied into this thing is really the answer. And we have balance with Archangel Zadkiel. The need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise. Wait for perfect timing is coming through with this. With balance, with Zadkiel. Oh, and just so I don't mess this up, balance is usually temperance. Yes. One of these days I'm going to remember all this. Balance is normally temperance, and temperance definitely asks for balance, so it makes sense that it's called balance. Seeing all sides is really what temperance is about, because judgment is also about balance in a different way. Temperance is about like that higher perspective in your clarity, in your judgment, in understanding stuff and understanding what is positive, what is negative, what needs to stay, what needs to go. Empowerment and compromise. So it's almost like you need to reconcile with yourself that where you find yourself with the information at hand and how you feel and what you're doing is really what it is. And it may be different from what you saw, what you hoped, or really if you think back, you may be like, well, I kind of had a feeling that this was going to maybe play out this way because you know stuff, but you still go along a certain path because that's where you're supposed to go. And then you find yourself all of a sudden the path, that the way forward has been blocked, it's closed off, and moving in this direction anymore is not the way to go. So this is about, we need to see that it's either, there's definite times in our lives where we're like, all right, then let's take out the machete and start hacking at what's in our way because we need to go this way. Sure, there are those times where it's, force and strength and fighting and pushing through is definitely the way to go. Typically, though, It's about accepting what is actually there and seeing it for what it is, and the path of least resistance, the path of the less amount of negativity, the path of releasement is definitely the way, even if it means totally turning and going in a different direction. That you were like, I'm going this way, and all of a sudden it's like, nope, there's a wall here. You can't go any further. You need to go this way now. And then, kind of recalibrating your barometer, your compass, everything to go, okay. And then while you're walking in this direction, not going, are we sure I'm not supposed to be going back that way? Like, I was there. Like, wasn't I supposed to be there? Even if it's hard, even if it's not perfect, even if you start to kind of like second guess and question yourself. And sometimes things just need to end. Sometimes, there's only so far a certain situation can go. And maybe it's just for that time period, but if we continue to pursue something that's clearly saying this isn't, right or good for you, you need to use your energy or go in a different direction, then that's exactly what you need to do. So for further clarity on this, I will, I ask for you to do a couple of things. Listen and do the meditation for body love and connecting with your guardian angel, because that will definitely help clarify things. And the more you connect with that upper tier guidance, and starting with your guardian angel is a great thing to do. And then whomever or whatever came up to you or came up for you in this reading of something you need to release from or let go of, consider doing a cord cutting for that. It's not just for people, it's for situations, traumas, events, and things like that. So take a look at my ebook, The Importance of Cord Cutting, and the companion meditations. All of that is on my website. But lastly, this is about, it's really interesting because, a little inside look into inside baseball here. This has been, I'm a healer. I've been really looking and seeking clarity, going into past lives, even doing some deep healing and integration with past life stuff in this Stargate, really releasing negativity, really moving past stuff, and mostly just saying, where is my balance? What do I need to have to balance things out in my life with energies of my output and my input? What is a constant output and not an input, or not much of an input? What do I need to shift in my output? And how will that make me feel? What is going to give me more clarity, more balance with positive energy, more balance with divine feminine, divine masculine, and what is going to bring me and put me in the best position to tap in with that inner knowing, with that, the healer inside of me that wants to help others, that wants to be a guide, that wants to show people that there are ways in which we can take care of ourselves through energy, through experiencing deeper connections with our own body, starting there, and with our spiritual connections. And the only way we can really do that and satisfy ourselves is to be very real, very authentic, very nurturing with ourselves, non-judgmental, just seeing things for what they are, putting one foot in front of the other, resting when we need to, eating when we need to, sleeping when we need to, researching when we need to, going into the oracle or the tarot when we need to, if that's your thing, and definitely going into nature and connecting with Gaia. That is something that is very much needed. So again, I invite you to take a look at my library of meditations, either on my podcast, my YouTube channel, what I have going on my website. I try to cross-pollinate everything everywhere, but it doesn't always happen. For example, my last couple of videos on YouTube did not make it to my podcast. So it's interesting how that works out. But anyway, go as guided. If you're going to partake of any of my offerings or wherever you're being guided, just let yourself think about the clarity and being clear, dear fellow Sagittarius. Okay, and with that, I say thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it, and I hope to see you soon. Bye for now.